Welcome back to the show, everybody. Oh my goodness, have we got a show today for you. Stablecoin Bill news, Kevin O'Leary. The rats are running from ETHgate. And we got Ripple filed a reply to sealed, and the SEC playing dirty poker while they try to expose Ripple's business strategy. And a massive win for John Deaton and 68,000 plus XRP holders. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow me on TikTok at the top of the screen, YouTube and Twitter and Facebook. We're everywhere. Make sure you give us a follow. This is Coin Paprika right here. Make sure you give them a like and follow. Download the app on your phone. Right now, 1,019 billion is where we are. The market's up 1.31%. Good morning. It is July 27, 2022. Bitcoin right now, 21,200 plus. Ethereum, 1,400 plus. And we see XRP at the number 7 spot, sitting there so pretty. 33 cents, holding her own, never left the top 10 after being sued by the SEC, and it's still ongoing. But we got some massive breaking news for you this morning. Range of price right now, 33 cents on the bottom, 34 on the top. We're up almost 1%. We'll keep an eye on it today. But let me tell you about this news. It is until Sunday, midnight Pacific time. Don't mess around. Even if you're already a Link2 member, hit this link you're looking at right here or the one underneath my video in the comment and description section. Don't mess around. Ensure you're going to click for the best deals, which right now you will get $1,000 worth of XRP in your Uphold account if you buy any product on the platform before Sunday at midnight Pacific time. That's the deal, and it's the last time you're ever going to get a chance to do it. The XRP drop is going to be discontinued after that forever. Make sure you check it out. U.S. House Financial Services Committee lawmakers will delay the markup of widely anticipated bipartisan stablecoin bill, which we reported on yesterday. But listen to this. After Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen pushed the changes in a key provision of the legislation. Oh, really? You know, I've been talking about this. First of all, Janet Yellen is not supposed to be in the bill-making process, but we're talking about money. And I believe we're talking about money when we talk about XRP too. That's the other part of this. Watch out for FSOC. Watch out for Dodd-Frank Act that created FSOC. Watch out for Michael S. Barr, who was an architect of Dodd-Frank, who is now the VP of the Board of Governors for the Federal Reserve. I bet he's going to have something to help in this and a helping hand on creating what will become the regulation for stablecoins. And look at this. Even more from the Treasury right here. This ain't the SEC, baby. Oh, no. Kraken is under federal investigation suspected of violating U.S. sanctions by allowing users in Iran and elsewhere to buy and sell digital assets. Not such a good idea. Yeah, the Treasury Department is investigating now. I don't think that's the kind of hand that you're going to want in your fanny right there. Or any hand, for that matter, you know. All right, moving on. Take a look at this. If it goes by the same rate, USD coin will dethrone Tether's position as the biggest stablecoin on October 10th, 2022. And that's just at the rate that it's growing right now. That is discounting any kind of regulatory action from an agency or government coming after it for not holding the reserves in a proper manner, which was determined by the CTO of Tether on I believe it was CNBC interview we covered here, right? This is Kevin O'Leary. I'm going to say it again, ladies and gentlemen. USD coin is the unofficial official US digital dollar. We're just waiting for the crown. Question is will USD Tether collapse be the coronation for the USDC coin? Listen to what Kevin O'Leary says here.
people think that crypto, the entire sector, is going to get regulated all at once. That's not going to happen.
That's right.
The most likely scenario, and this is a personal opinion, but one I've been working on in Washington, along with others, is that we would like to get policy on just stablecoins first, because stablecoins represent a very powerful and efficient payment system. And we think we can get bipartisan support between both parties supporting the American dollar as a default currency for a global payment system. It's not going to be the Chinese yuan, it's not going to be the Swiss franc, it's not going to be the euro, it's not going to be the British pound. And the reason it would fall and default to the US dollar would be that that is the currency used to denominate most commodities. And so the challenge you have right now, and why there's so much pressure to solve this, is it's very inefficient to transfer US dollars over to Geneva, then put it into Swiss francs, and then buy Swiss Nestle stock or whatever it is you want to do over there. It's really slow, very inefficient, very costly, not transparent, and not easy to audit. And so all of that problem goes away with a stablecoin. Now, the proposed policy that you'll find in granular form in both the Haggerty and Toomey bills, and I've met with both of them, as many others have, this is very simple policy. What it looks as, it says, okay, for any stablecoin, an audit every 30 days. And any asset underlying, holding up the value of the coin or token, cannot have a duration of more than 12 months. Now, you've seen that policy before. It's called a money market fund, and you'll find it at Fidelity and Putnam and many other financial services entities that are FDIC insured. Circle, if it wished, that issues USDC, could become a bank. They could be FDIC insured if they wanted to, but they are sort of leading the pack with crypto in terms of payment systems under a stablecoin that has not broken a buck. So you've seen even Tether trades below $1. It's 0.999 right now. And so when you break a buck, you lose a lot of confidence. So what I'd like to see happen here is that we regulate stablecoins first, because
and then he goes on to say that he believes that there's a part two to this, and I shout out to JV for this. But he goes on to say that basically, USDC is in the perfect position to become that, and to play and serve that role as the U.S. digital dollar is basically what he says, and I'm paraphrasing here just so we can move on, because we have a lot to go over there. Watch out for it, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, you ain't heard a lot about it, but it won't take but one moment for the U.S. Treasury or some other agency to come out and body slam USD Tether for not having the proper reserves, not being really truly licensed to operate in the manner that they are, which really means you're nothing more than a glorified counterfeit digital dollar, isn't it? Someone explain to me how it is not that. That's what I'd like to know, right? I'm not trying to go after Tether or any of those things. I'm just saying, looking at it from the government agencies and government level, and that perspective, I think there is more trouble to come. And what would that do to the market? And it certainly would propel USDC coin to the front of the line, and it's already on its way there anyway. Very quickly right here, great insight from former Representative Todd Tyert. It says right here in Real Clear Political or Policy, and if I'm just going to give you one section out of this, you're going to love it. The SEC has manipulated the absence of regulatory clarity of blockchain technology to justify going beyond its authority. SEC Chairman Gary Gensler's explanation is that the lack of rules means the industry is the Wild West, rife with fraud and criminality, and therefore he must be the cop on the beat. In truth, his SEC seems to ignore brazen fraud cases like last November's Squid Coin scam. What an excellent point. Rather, the SEC exploits antiquated rules to throw all its weight into cases against legitimate companies and their executives like, wait for it, Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse, and Christian Larson, right? That's what we're talking about here, yeah. And that's the problem with what's going on here. Gary Gensler sees himself as a hammer and everything is a nail. And very quickly here, two things. The CFTC and the SEC are working in tandem. Make no mistake about that. When you hear them say that we believe half the market should go to the CFTC and half the market should go to the SEC, understand this. The metric is not the number of tokens. The metric is half of the market cap goes to the CFTC, which is Bitcoin and Ethereum, and then the other half of the market cap of crypto goes to the SEC, which is the rest of the 40,000+ tokens. Now, not necessarily do I have a problem, because the majority of those tokens probably are going to end up becoming digital asset securities, and rightly so. Most of them will probably be ICOs and things of that nature that do qualify, in fact, as digital asset securities. The problem is, because Gary Gensler sees himself as a hammer and everything a nail, that we want to make sure that the projects like XRP, XLM, and Cardano get the proper designation so they can function in their true use case without being harmed by regulation and classification. That's the thing we need to pay attention to right there. Now, with that being said right here, shortly after Empower Oversight sent the evidence referral to the SEC Inspector General, Simpson Thatcher turned tail and quit the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance. Well, look at the rats run. That's what I see happening here. It's like turning on the light in the kitchen and watching the cockroaches crawl back into the wall. And as I referenced, says Eleanor Terrett on Twitter Live, here is the response I received from Simpson Thatcher. And this says right here, Simpson Thatcher evaluates its professional membership, industry affiliations, and subscriptions on an ongoing basis, taking into account the value they provide to clients. In short, we saw trouble, so we got away from it. Looks like a lightning strike. I stepped 2 steps to the right. Yeah, and this was really a bombshell dropped here that I first saw by Stephen Hubert, who is an amazing Twitter sleuth out here and influencer. And he says right here that they left the Ethereum Alliance sometime between May 22 and today, and is now no longer a member of the EEA. What could possibly be the reason for this? Did they possibly believe the John Deaton EEA conspiracy theory? ETHgate, baby, it is real. This is a thread here that you should read. I'm not going to read it all to you. We got more to go right here, but shout out to Eleanor Terrett for amazing reporting on all of this information. Man, I cannot wait to see what comes next from her and Charles Gasparino, Liz Clayman, and the whole crew there. But this first, before we get into the very big piece of news here, more dirty poker and politics here by the SEC, and it is Ripple defendants have filed a request to file a reply letter in support of their sealing motion to correct certain factual mischaracterizations in the SEC's opposition to defendants' sealing motion. The SEC does not object. And basically what it is here is that, remember yesterday we reported that the SEC was trying to reveal some of the numbers to the business and operations and how they work with some of their partners. Well, essentially what's going on here is exactly that. The SEC was trying to mischaracterize some of those facts and figures to have that private information revealed, which could be, as Ripple says here, detrimental to Ripple's business. The SEC does not and cannot point to a single instance where Ripple proposed to redact information that already appears in an XRP markets report. How about that? It is appropriate and not at all uncommon for a private company like Ripple to propose redactions to highly confidential business information while choosing to disclose other types of information to the public, particularly whereas those prior disclosures were not made in the context of litigation. So they're really fixing the fact that the SEC tried to pull a fast one and say, oh yeah, all of this stuff was public and we shouldn't have it sealed. And now the SEC's had to file a letter saying, no, you can't find the stuff that we want sealed and to remain sealed because it's detrimental to our business. Hello, I happen to think that's where I come in with my speculation and say, well, that's because that has to do with pre-contractual agreements known as pre-allocation. Come on in. And that's okay with me because that's how they did it. And that's why it's got to be legally defined so the world can use it. Looks like the SEC just got stuffed at the goal line. SEC denied, baby. Yeah, John Deaton and 68,000 of us XRP holders just got a massive win overnight. And I tell you, Judge Torres denies the SEC motion to revoke Amici status and bar John Deaton from further proceedings. Amici can't participate in expert challenge now, but may file application to brief concerns with SEC's expert at summary judgment. Come on in. And just because we all want to hear it said, with respect to the party's contemplated motion for summary judgment, accordingly, Movent's request is denied. Come on in. That is a huge, huge win for all of us to have John Deaton remain in this process and be a friend to the court. Eleanor Terra says, looks like a win for XRP holders here. John Deaton is allowed to stay on the case and retain Amici status. He'll also be allowed to raise questions about the SEC's expert when filing his summary judgment brief. And we have Jeremy Hogan here who says, once again, an SEC gambit fails. Not only will John Deaton likely be allowed to brief the expert witness issue, just not right now, and not be kicked out of the case as the SEC had hoped, but by attacking Deaton personally, the SEC opened the door to the filing of SEC dirty laundry. And that's exactly what happened right there. And that's exactly what John Deaton filed when he put his brief in just the other day. And I tell you, now the judge knows exactly what kind of things have been happening behind the scenes during Jay Clayton and certainly William Hinman's tenure at the SEC when all of this was going on. And I can't wait to see how she acts on that information now that she has it. That's going to do it for me. There's more to come and more breaking news. There's a lot happening in a flurry of motions and filings. Don't miss the next video. I'll catch all of you on the next one.